Hey guys, Chef Tom here. Today we're going to talk about things to consider when opening a restaurant. So this is an overview of things to consider when opening your own restaurant. Opening a restaurant can be a huge endeavor, and there's probably many other things to consider when opening a restaurant that are not included in this video. So that being said, do not use this video as your only source of information if you are planning on opening a restaurant. Also, if there's anything I may have missed that may be important, please feel free to leave that down in the comments. Okay, let's get started. 80% of restaurants fail in the first 5 years, except for franchises. Franchises are more well established and they spend a lot of money doing their planning and their market research so that they know where they're building, they're gonna have a profit. With restaurants, there's a lower profit margin than you have with other types of businesses. One reason for that is that the food is perishable. Opening a restaurant is not for the faint of heart. There's a lot of hard work that needs to go into it. It's a mixture of being smart, having good luck, hard work, and being dedicated. You'll need to maintain sound operations and manage the financials properly just to stay afloat. A successful, well-managed restaurant can show a profit of 15% or higher. So key points to having a successful restaurant: 1, the restaurant needs to be profitable. 2, the restaurant needs to bring in customers and also to have those customers be return customers. So let's start off by talking about being profitable and market research and planning. Location, size, and concept are very important, and they're gonna make or break your restaurant. Location is everything. Are you going to have foot traffic? Most of your customers are going to be coming from the nearby neighborhoods, or they will be working nearby. What's your check average going to be? And how many customers can you expect to come in your doors per day? How much business are the other restaurants in the area getting? What are their price points? How many customers do they serve per day? You'll need to be able to project what your sales will be for the first year and to have those sales be higher than your starting costs. You don't want to pay rent for a huge restaurant if you're not going to be able to consistently fill those seats or be able to generate enough income to pay for that rent. You'll need to consider table placement and how many turns you can get per table when you're trying to figure out how much business you'll be able to do. You can learn a lot of this by visiting the area you plan on opening in, going inside the other restaurants, talking to the owners, talking to the staff, just talking to customers that may be walking around or people that are eating in the restaurants, and determining what it is that they want, what is it that they need. Knowing the median income of the people that live and work in the area will be very beneficial to being able to determine these numbers. Being near a university where you have a lot of college kids, you're gonna have different types of food than living in a ritzy, rich area with a lot of older people. The ethnicity, the socioeconomic factors. Do the people in the area want the same kind of concept of food that you wanna open in your restaurant? Say you have like a French restaurant in mind that you really want to open, but nobody in the area wants a French restaurant. They want burger joints and fried chicken. Your fancy, expensive French restaurant's not going to do very well. You may need to humble yourself. You have a specific area that you need to open your restaurant in. You need to kind of mold yourself to what that area needs and wants. You'll need to have a restaurant with a strong, unique selling proposition. For instance, how is your burger joint different than the burger joint across the street? Is it a food truck kind of area, or is it a fine dining kind of area? All these things are going to either make or break your restaurant. You need to know the area. You need to know what's going on before you drop a lot of money making a restaurant. Is there a need in the area that is not being fulfilled? Say the restaurant is in a cheaper area and there are more fine dining restaurants, and you go and you talk to the people on the streets and they want a chicken joint. They want a cheaper like taco place. Will you be expecting a lot of to-go orders? Areas with a lot of young families will get a lot of to-go food if they're gonna eat out. Will you have customers drinking at a bar if you plan on opening a fancy bar in your restaurant? So next thing to think about when you're thinking about money and opening a restaurant is your starting financials. Now that you know what the market wants, you can start to determine what your starting costs will be. You're gonna need to have a lot of money to start. You will need to do a lot of planning, and one mistake can be fatal. Measure twice, cut once. It's worth the time to double check your numbers. You'll wanna do the math and run the numbers several times. You'll need to overestimate for what you think you're gonna need to start, and I would also expect delays to happen. Those that fail to plan to fail. Are you gonna take out a loan, or are you gonna have business partners? partners. You'll want to be wise when you're choosing your business partners because relationships can become strained. People that open restaurants with like their wife or their family, those relationships have been known to fall apart. So if you're going to pick a person to be your partner, you're going to want to make sure that they can bring something to the table, that your lines of communication are open about what you expect and what your goals are. So when choosing a financial partner, you want somebody that can bring something to the table. Some restaurants spend all their money before they're even able to open their doors, and because they did that, they are not able to open their doors and they failed before they even started. I would recommend starting off small with being able to expand in mind and to also be thrifty with your purchases. Make realistic goals and do not overspend. Also, prioritizing important things first will help you out. You're gonna need kitchen equipment, you're gonna need tables, you're gonna need to be staffed. You might not need that fancy espresso machine right away, so I would wait on buying that until you are certain that you can afford that. You'll need to think about staffing. You'll have your chef, you'll have your kitchen staff, you'll have your front of the house staff, you'll have your front of the house manager, your general manager, dishwashers. Also, you're gonna need to think about rent, property tax, insurance, maintenance, advertising. You don't want to spend more than 10% per year on those types of items. You're going to need to have a well thought out menu design. The items that are on your menu, the ingredients that are in those items. You don't want to overwhelm your customers with too many items on the menu, then they become confused. You don't want to overwhelm your kitchen or your wait staff with too many things to prep or too many items to memorize. It'll help keep your staff sane and it'll help keep your costs down. It'll save space, it'll keep your labor down, you won't have so many things to prep, and it'll also make your food fresher because you have less ingredients and those ingredients are being turned over faster. You'll need to consider kitchen layout, refrigeration, waste management, dish pits, bus stations, table layouts, point of sale system, storage space, delivery options from purveyors, the quantity of foods that you need to purchase. Food is perishable, food is money. You'll also need to consider service procedures and opening and closing procedures. Having these things outlined will help with your staff morale and consistency. You will want to be consistent and not change things up all the time. If you need to make changes, be wise about it. Changing things up all the time can be confusing for the customers and the staff. There's going to be a lot of administrative responsibilities, managing people, training people, being proactive rather than reactive, having a management style where you're not just barking orders at people, but you treat people with respect, and you use the people that you have as assets will go a long way in bringing up the morale. And having proper systems in place will help you achieve this. So now let's talk about customers, how to get them in, and how to keep them coming back. You'll want to have some form of advertising, whether that be a billboard or just proper signage in front of your restaurant, like especially if you have a lot of foot traffic. Or it can also be your reputation on websites like Yelp or OpenTable. Advertising works to get new people in the door. Your reputation keeps them coming back. You could get lucky and have your spot featured on a Food Network show, or you could win Iron Chef, and that would be great for getting your name out there and increasing your reputation. But you're gonna have to work hard and really put yourself out there to get those kind of opportunities. You can't win if you don't play. Being a restaurateur will make you have to be more sociable, and it'll make you more client motivated. Consistency is gonna play a huge part in getting yourself some repeat customers. If they come in one time and get a huge filet mignon, it's like perfectly cooked and they're wowed by it, and then they come in again and they order the same thing and it's smaller and not cooked properly, they're going to be disappointed and they may not come back. Especially if they talk the food up to somebody that they brought along with them the second time and then they ended up being disappointed. It's kind of embarrassing. You're not going to come back to that restaurant. Same with service. If they had great service the first time and then they come in again and they're having a hard time getting their server to even acknowledge that they're there, they're not going to want to come back. A lot of people vote with their wallets. They may not give you any feedback as to how the food was, even if you ask them. Here's a couple things to consider when thinking about that. The food. Are you delivering a consistent value that meets expectations or exceeds expectations? If you're at least meeting expectations, that's a good thing. But if you're falling short of expectations, people are not going to want to come back. Service. People want good service. The front of house staff is basically the face of your restaurant. You're gonna wanna have positive enthusiastic front of the house staff that's knowledgeable about the restaurant and your concepts. And on that same note, concepts and practices and values can help you establish your identity. Like, are you a sustainable restaurant that cares about the local farmers and the ecosystem? Or are you a hot dog stand that prides itself on having extravagant, heart attack inducing ingredients? Or are you serving traditional Ethiopian cuisine that's super authentic? Are you known for paying your employees a reasonable wage, and are you active in the community? Do you have a condiment bar that has a lot of different fresh salsas and toppings that you don't charge extra for? All these little things can help you establish your identity and can help you set yourself apart. It can make people walk in your doors and keep on walking into your doors. Is your restaurant known for screwing up people's orders time and time again? Restaurants like that don't have repeat customers. So that's a lot of things to consider if you're going to be opening your restaurant. If you have anything you'd like to add, please leave a comment down below. Please subscribe, and thank you very much.